All right, let's talk about something that I think a lot of us feel. Have you ever felt like you're just stuck on a hamster wheel, trading your time, your life for a paycheck? Well, if that sounds familiar, you're in the right place. We are about to break down exactly what passive income is, and I'm not talking about some get-rich-quick fantasy, but a real, solid strategy for building actual financial freedom. So let's dive right in.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll cover the premise. What trap are we even trying to escape? Then we'll get into the principle, which is all about getting your mindset right. After that, we'll look at the possibilities, opening up your toolbox of options. Then we'll map out the path with a blueprint you can follow. And finally, we'll get to the payoff, a simple little equation that honestly changes everything.
Okay, let's kick things off with part one, the premise. This is all about understanding the core problem, the very reason we need to think differently about money in the first place. I mean, this is the question, isn't it? It gets right to the heart of that hamster wheel. Most of us, from day one, are taught this simple trade. You give an hour of your life, you get a certain amount of money back. But if you really think about it, that system has a built-in ceiling. There are only 24 hours in a day. You can't make more time. So to really truly build wealth, you need a system that isn't tied to the clock. And that leads us perfectly into part two, the principle. Because escaping that trap isn't about some fancy new tactic. It's about a fundamental, deep-down shift in how you think about earning money. So let's get our terms straight right away. Passive income is money that comes in with minimal, ongoing effort. Now, I put a lot of emphasis on those words, ongoing effort, for a reason. This is not magic money from the sky.
And I really want to hammer this point home because this is where so many people trip up. Passive income is not effortless money. It's the reward for a ton of upfront work. Think of it like this. You spend a whole lot of energy pushing a giant boulder up a hill. It's hard work. The passive part, that's when you get to the top, give it one last shove, and watch it roll downhill all on its own.
This slide lays out the difference so clearly. The active income mindset, that's the one we're all used to, is about being the worker. You show up, you do the work, you get paid. Simple. But the passive income mindset, that's about being the owner. You don't do the work yourself. You build the asset, the machine that does the work for you. It's a huge shift from doing to owning.
So what does this asset builder mindset really look like? Well, it boils down to these three things. First, you have to stop thinking about next week's paycheck and start thinking in terms of years, even decades. Second, you stop relying on just one source of income and start building multiple streams for security. And third, this one's tough. You have to fully embrace doing the hard work now for a much, much bigger payoff way down the road.
All right, once you've got that mindset dialed in, we can move on to the really fun stuff. Part three, the possibilities. It's time to open up the toolbox and see what we can actually build with. Let's break down these four main categories. First up, you've got digital assets. Think ebooks, online courses, stuff like that. The magic here is the incredible scale. You create it once, and it can sell 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, earning for you 24/7. Next, financial investments, the classic dividend stocks or index funds. This is where your money itself is the worker, hustling to make more money for you. Then there's real estate, which is awesome because...
Okay, so that's the what. Now let's get into the how with part four, the path. Let's get really practical and look at the blueprint for building your very first income stream.
Now, before you run off and try to do everything, the absolute most important first step is to figure out which of those tools is the right fit for you. This is definitely not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. And this is where you need to get really honest with yourself. Just ask these four questions. What are you actually good at? Do you have more time than money right now, or the other way around? How many hours a week can you realistically commit to this? And maybe the biggest one, are you genuinely ready to learn something new, maybe something hard? Your answers here are your compass.
And that brings us to this, which is really the secret to all of it. Don't just chase whatever is popular or seems to be making other people rich. The key is to match the income model to your own personal strengths and what you have to work with. That's the only way you'll stick with it when things get tough. So once you find your fit, the plan is actually pretty simple. Step one, research like crazy. Become an expert. Step two, and this is so important, start with just one stream. Focus. Step three, go build the thing. Write the book, buy the rental, launch the store. Step four, find ways to automate it so it doesn't need you every day. And finally, step five, once it's working, then you scale it up.
I've got to stop on this slide, because this advice is absolutely vital. So many people crash and burn because they get shiny object syndrome. They try to start a YouTube channel and invest in real estate and launch a course all in the same month. It's a recipe for disaster. Please, build one thing. Make it strong, make it stable. Then, and only then, should you even think about starting the next one.
Which brings us to our final section, Part 5, the payoff. After all this work, after the mindset shifts and the late nights, what's the end game here? What does it all lead to?
Well, the engine that powers the whole payoff is the pure magic of compounding. It's just like that snowball you see. It starts off tiny. Your early gains feel insignificant. But as it keeps rolling, it picks up more and more snow, growing faster and faster until it's an unstoppable force. That's what your money does when you reinvest the earnings. The long-term growth is just staggering.
And this quote nails the two things you absolutely have to have for compounding to work: discipline and time. You need the discipline to put your earnings back into the system, to let them grow instead of just spending them, and you need the patience to let time do its thing. This is a marathon, not a sprint.
Of course, the journey isn't always smooth. These are the big pitfalls to watch out for. Thinking this is going to be easy money, quitting before your efforts have time to compound, creating something amazing but not learning how to tell people about it, that's marketing, and finally, not managing the money correctly when it does start coming in. If you can sidestep these, you're halfway there.
In the end, it all comes down to this one beautiful, simple formula. This is the goal. This is the finish line. The entire point is to get your passive income to be greater than your monthly expenses. The moment you solve that equation, the game changes. You've escaped the trap. Going to a job becomes a choice, not a chore. Your time is finally your own again, because your assets are funding your life now. That is financial freedom.
So, as we wrap up, the blueprint is right here, the tools are in the toolbox, the end goal is crystal clear. The only question left is the one that kicks off this whole amazing journey. Your journey starts right now with one single asset. So, what will you build?